Welcome, fellow Fusioners. This is Character King coming at you with a deck profile for Speed Duels on a Red Eyes deck. Or more so, aptly put, Meteor B. We'll start off with the skill, Fusion Party. Basically, all you need to know about the skill is it acts as polymerization, but it has a little more twist to it. Basically, skills cannot be responded to, so when you use Fusion Party, your opponent is unable to respond to their summon. So basically, they can't use Floodgate on your Meteor B Dragon when you summon it, so it's very, very good for that. Keeps them able to not be able to do too much response-wise if they're stalled. You only use it once per duel. First off, we have 2 Red Eyes Black Dragons. I like 3, of course, ultra rare. I like running 3, but I just found that I was drawing too many pieces, not enough protection, so I ended up removing some of it. Next, you have Meteor Dragon. Their piece, you just need 1 Red Eyes, 1 of this, and you fuse, and then the rest of the pieces are dead past that point, mostly. So the 2 of them basically make your boss monster, Meteor B Dragon. Next, you have your main searcher, which will be Blue Dragon Summoner. You run 3 of these. Basically, when they're destroyed and sent, or when they're sent to the graveyard from your field, you get to search a normal Dragon Warrior Spellcaster from your deck. So you basically add either Red Eyes or Meteor Dragon, whichever one you want more, or I think will be best during the time. Even if you have nothing, sometimes you search Red Eyes because you have another way to discard. So it comes up pretty often. 1 Summoner Art, count this as a monster because it's one of your main pieces for getting your fusion off. This basically searches one or the other. I like the Blue Dragon Summoner because you can attack with it and defend. There's a lot of things with less or 1500 or less attacks that you can do more, like you can crash it into Swordwoman. Next I have 2 Bluster. This is a way to handle Moth outside of just crashing your Meteor B into it. It's not the best in the meta because if the meta is right now is Moth, Warriors, and a little bit of Gravekeeper Moth. Bluster basically is negated by Gearfried, which Gearfried is your main summon if you're trying to play around Moth. If they see your skill, they're not going to. But this is not the most reliable card. This is your only really way to handle Moth if you lose your Meteor B because you have nothing big enough that can handle it. Next we have 1 Mask of Darkness. I like having this because I like having 1 monster that can still do an effect and be useful against Gearfried. It's good because you can recycle your Red Eye Spirit, so instead of 3, you have 4, and you can use it for like Dust Tornado or anything that's useful to keep protecting your field. Last monster would be Syria Bow. I was running more than 1, but I kept drawing multiples, and basically I was ending up having my Meteor B on the field. I drew like 3 Syria Bows, and I was basically just waiting until I had another monster or thing I can use, Red Eye Spirit or Blue Dragon, because when I didn't really have any protection at the time, and so if I'm just drawing until they get their Parasite is not the best strategy to have more than 1 Syria Bow. Next, this is a very useful card but costly. Wicked Breaking Flameberg Bow. Basically, it has a cost to discard 1 card from your hand, so basically you can get your Red Eyes in the grave and then Red Eye Spirit it back. And the cool thing is you can equip this to your Blue Dragon Summoner. It's 2,000, which is really good attack points for it. You can equip it to your Meteor B, and these 4,000 can swing for lethal if he attacks directly. But basically, anything their monster equipped with this destroys by battle, its effects are negated, so basically you can't use flip effects or graveyard effects, which is a really good protection and is really worth having. I would run way more of these if I could. But I need more protection against Moth, and I need to make sure I have my pieces on the board. And like Blast Speaker is a little too unnegotiable. You need to stall until you get your pieces. Next, you have Red Eye Spirit. The best Red Eyes deck I will say right now is the best way to get Red Eyes in the grave. So basically, I used to run Viral Infection for my Red Eyes, but Viral Infection basically had it where you would Viral Infection had like 3 Massive Darkness. So basically, whenever I opened 1 spirit, I would just see all my spirits. But then I would just see my red eyes, and I kept breaking on pieces, and it was very inconsistent. But anyway, the best way to get red eyes in the grave is the strongest. So you fusion one time, you can bring it back with these. You can pitch the grave with Wicked Flame Bow. If the Moth gets out of the meta, you'll see more Windstorms, and this deck will have more Bowels probably. I'd feel to play around some stuff. Next, we have 3 Dust Tornado. Standard card. Basically, all you want to do in this deck is prevent your opponent from mothing away your Meteor B. So you just destroy their Parasite, you only use 1 per turn. And pray they don't have Moth in hand. If they have Moth in hand, you have to crash your Meteor B into it, or they'll crash their Moth into yours. In case you have other things that can stop them, but like Karibo. Yeah, but this is a really good way to handle that. Very generic overall. You can hit the back row too. Yeah, the problem cards. A lot of the meta is killing the back row. Last 2 cards in the main deck is 2 Interdimensional Matter Transporters. Now, funny thing about this in Vegas is the first day they had the ruling where I thought it was how it was supposed to be off of Duel Links, where basically if I had Slash Dragon on the field and I tried to equip Black Metal Dragon to it, they would chain destruction and would destroy my monster, and Black Metal Dragon would go to the graveyard. And the first day I had it where if I banish my Black Metal Dragon, after they try to equip with my Black Metal or my Meteor B Dragon with Parasite Paranoid, I would banish it to send it to the graveyard, which the first day did go to the graveyard, but the second day I did the tournament, didn't, which kind of really made it hard for me to fight, because basically I would use this to protect my Meteor B. They'd be like, okay, cool, I'll keep this in hand. And the judge rolled the second day that it'd stay in hand, and I didn't push it forward. Probably should have pushed it forward, but I don't really know the ruling too well myself. You know the ruling, put down in the comments if I was wrong or right on the first and second day. Now for the side deck, I have 3 Wild Tornado. Works the same as Dust Tornado, kills the Parasite Paranoid. Like every deck's running Paranoid, so you have a pretty good chance of just throwing this in blindly, and you're fine. This can mean your main deck if you need. But I like having this because your deck doesn't really have an out to Serpenite, so this is a nice way to be able to destroy that and play against Moth too. And most Serpenites aren't doing the best right now. 1 Interdimensional Matter Transporter in the side deck. Something a 3rd one, you need this against Relinquish because you don't want them taking your Meteor B. You have other ways to play around it, but they can swing to your Blaster with like smaller Senju and Sonic Bird. 1 Waking the Dragon. It's nice having a monster that they can, if they have like heavy back row destruction, like there's a lot of Moth spam back row blow up decks. This will be pretty good for that. Get out big monster they can't handle. Next I have Vampire Lord. Now Vampire Lord didn't work well for me, but worked really well for my friend who got 3rd place first day on Vegas and 1st place second day for the Giant Card event. The first day for the 3rd place title, he versed a stall player who against this basically has it where stall all he does is like destroy your monsters, try to deck you out, heal life points, and go for time. But this basically has it where like they cannot use the resources effectively. They will run out of resources, and you will not at that point. And last but not least is extra deck. You have your boss monster, Meteor B Dragon. 3,500, 2,000 defense kind of sucks, but I kind of wish we had Black Skull Dragon, but it works overall. Gets your red eyes in the grave, and then it's big enough where you crash this into Moth. 3,500. So it's pretty useful overall. It doesn't take many fusion materials unlike these other ones. 2 Arcana Knight Jokers. Now the Judge of Vegas ruled that this works off Waking the Dragon. I'm not sure. I didn't think it did beforehand. But if it is, basically you can negate like Paranoid with this, so it's actually like fantastic if that is the ruling for Waking the Dragon. And then last but not least, your big beat stick, Blue Eyes Ultimate. Just to go for game if they have nothing, but usually they have something, so usually you go for like negation. Because it's still big enough to handle Moth. Moth can't even attack this in defense position, so maybe this is better. It depends, like, if they use their skill or not at the time. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see for speed duels. Probably making a lot more Duel Links videos currently, but thanks for watching. Let's go Slash.